This week, we have a video on a quick little creepy game that I found on Steam, as next week we have a fairly large book review that I am very excited for, that book being a horror. And then the week after I have another great game explain video as well. However, that would mean I didn't have a video this week. So I searched around Steam while doom scrolling like I always do, and I found this really serious and horrifying game known as PARASiTE Flower, a game by a person named Cat Before we get into it though, I want to give a warning, because like the Bober Bros video I did, this is a very serious topic, and I'm going to treat it with as much respect as I can. This game is horrifying and has great visuals. The art style reminds me a lot of Ebe, one of the very first indie horror games that ever really captured my heart, but with some more messed up themes than you'd expect from a game like this. So without going on any further with my rambling, I want to say thank you for watching, and let's get into the horrible game known as PARASiTE Flower. The game opens up with a character with a rabbit mask and some toy box sounding music in the background. This game is made in RPG Maker, but it doesn't look like the stereotypical RPG Maker slop game. Of course, not you, Fear and Hunger, you're cool. It seems to be completely hand-painted or hand-drawn, and it seems like the entire thing is handmade, no pre-made assets to be found other than the UI. Or at least, that's what it seems like to my untrained eye. And once you hit play, it will give you a warning. The same one I gave at the beginning of the video. This game contains suicide, essay, and gore. So it should be pretty easily understood what is going to be going on in this game, but that doesn't lessen the impact. This game is pretty sad, but it's very artistic and metaphorical, so we're going to have to dive a little deeper than the game shows, because it is quite hard to understand at times. Our game opens up with the date on the screen, 7/12/04. Light fades into the room. It appears we play as a young girl, no more than 17, but in all likelihood, probably much younger than that. The only thing you can do in the room is look in the mirror, save at the bed, or inspect the lamp, which doesn't even work. Looking in the mirror will show you, Ari Young. Leaving the room will show you a ghastly sight, a man on the couch watching television in a dark room. He appears to be puppeteered by a flower or something above him. You can't inspect him or do anything with him. Only thing you can do is go right into the kitchen, and there's a woman and you cannot see her face. Inspecting her, all she will say is, "Go to school, Ari." The woman would appear to be Ari's mother, at least I assume, and that would make sense that the man in front of the TV is Ari's father. Going to the right again, you will reach the end of the house. In this room, there is nothing other than a dark crack in the wall, but you can't interact with it yet. Going further to the right will show quite a beautiful drawing or scene of Ari walking out of the house with a light streaming through the fog in the background. Leaves fall from the tree, and although it's beautiful, it almost has an air of sadness or melancholy. Going further to the right, take a shot every time I say that, you will take Ari into the woods. The woods are devoid of anything, just the cawing of birds. Nothing to be inspected in the thick gray. Further along, you will arrive at a train stop. You have to wait for the train, I guess. On this train, you will see faceless shadows talk amongst themselves. Things like la 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 la, and what a gloomy day, and I hope she's okay. Are they talking about Ari? The handles on the roof of the bus look suspiciously like nooses. But all you can do here is sit down on the bus seat. But be a little careful though, because the game seems to crash a lot when you do that. So sit down and you'll get a cutscene that is just long enough for it to be uncomfortable. Leave the train and you'll be in an even darker scene in the city. Streetlights barely illuminate your path. The next room seems to be a building that you cannot go into, but there's a heart and an arrow in a neon sign. Probably a building a young girl like Ari should not be around. In Korean up here, the sign says, I'm not going to say this right, Noraebang. With a little research, that is a Korean karaoke bar. Now, I'm American, so please take this with a grain of salt, because I truly am not the person to go to about this, but after researching slightly, Places like that exist in Korea, and although as far as I can tell, they are not overtly sexual in nature, there are a few bad ones that are very exploitative and for that kind of niche. Going further, you will reach a fence. This is the school, but it looks more like Kamoshida's palace in more than one way. It looks like a castle, dark and looming. At the front gate, you will enter a classroom and it immediately will cut to black once you get in it. Strange. The intro will then replay. 7/12/04. Strange. We are replaying the exact same day, like Groundhog Day. Looking in the mirror will show Ari's face again, but this time it's slightly different. It's hardly noticeable, but there are now bags under her eyes. She appears to not be looking so healthy. Everything is pretty similar to before with slight variances though. You can now interact with Dad. Ari will just say, "Dad?" in a questioning tone, but he won't respond, and he'll just make a gross squelching noise. Mom will say the same thing, however. Just go to school, Ari. Leave the house, walk through the forest until you get to the train. This time, the faceless shadows will say different things. Things like, "Hide well, I can see your hair." Pretty little... Poor little girl. Her parents must be devastated. I hate my family. All of those seem a little more concerning. Sit down and continue with the slightly too long cutscene again. Go through the city, and this time if you inspect the karaoke bar, this will happen. Blood splatter on the floor. What does this mean? Going further, eyes will appear lurching at Ari from the bar. Further along, nothing new happens until you get to the school, which will allow you to enter and go a little bit further without cutting. It sounds like someone's writing on the chalkboard in here though. A teacher, perhaps? As well as a clock ticking. Before you can see anything though, it will cut to black and all sounds cut out. Strangely, except for the ticking clock, which persists for the rest of the game. 7/12/04. The same day. Look in the mirror, and this time you were met with a much more horrible sight. Ari now has no eyes. Her mouth stitched shut. A dark aura exudes around her. Exit the room to see Dad again. Getting close to him will show you some tree roots or something. We will see the rest of this image tomorrow. Talk to him and he will give the same response as yesterday. That being nothing. Walking into the next room will give you an image of what looks like to be blood on a hand dripping to the floor. Talking to your mom will give you two options. Mom, are you okay? And leave for school. If you ask what's wrong with her, a loud banging will start like it's getting closer and closer until it gets dark and a slicing sound can be heard. And it will give you a game over. But this game over image just appears to be a flower. A parasite flower, I guess. What is this flower? And why does it keep showing up? It's controlling Dad too, remember? Well, let's leave this here for now, I guess. Continuing on, everything is the same once again except for the shadows on the bus. This time they will say, "I didn't hide well. He found me. Pretty little girl. I should have listened to my parents. He wasn't a good man to marry. Who would do such a thing to the kid? My God. I want them all to die. Well, sit down for the rest of the train ride." This time, as soon as you get off, a prompt will tell you that you left your pen back on the train. You can go back and get it, or just go to school. As far as I am aware, it doesn't matter. Ari is just stalling. But for what? The karaoke bar is silent today, but going a little further, this will happen. shadows will appear like a jump scare. Go inside the school once again, and then what this game is about becomes readily apparent. This time, you can go up to the chalkboard. A man stands there, and some nice yet unsettling music will play when you talk to him. He will look genuinely nice, I guess. He will say, "Ari, my favorite student, I've been waiting for you. We have a little time before class. Why don't you stay here? I have something special I want to show you. Don't be afraid now. I know it will make you happy too. Come here, little one." The screen will then once again cut to black. 7:12:04. Looking in the mirror of your room, you will see the final reflection of Ari. Like yesterday, her eyes are completely blacked out, her mouth sewed shut, but now blood flows from her mouth and neck. Talk to Dad and you will see what you missed yesterday. Dad sits on the couch and his bottom half is a tree, or roots, controlled by the parasite flower. Getting closer, he will smile very, I don't know how else to say this, but very evilly at you. Talk to Mom and, well, her mouth is cut off. The flower growing out of it. Once again, you have to leave the room or she will kill you. Go to the right and see that that crack in the wall now has eyes. It will talk to you and say, "What you can't see can't hurt you. Let me help you. I'll take the pain away." If you select stay with the crack, it will say, "It won't hurt, I promise. You'll only feel a little pain." Then it will give you only one option. Gouge your eyes out. Doing so will give an instant game over and show the flower again. So ignore it and keep moving to the train yet again. The shadows on the bus will say, "Mom will be mad at me. My clothes are dirty. She hates red. Little girls always behave and smell good. So nice and sweet and innocent. I want to leave him. He will never stop going there. He spends all of our money on drinks and women. I can't leave him. I want to die." Well, at least she died. So lucky. I wish I was dead too after what they did to me. Over and over again. I will end it today. Everything will be back to how it was. I'll be free. Sit down on the seat. This time, the normal cutscene won't play. It will play this one instead. It'll zoom in, all the shadows will be gone, and then there's a hanging figure from the nooses on the ceiling of the train. And then once again, back to normal. Leaving the bus, and you, how you were. Once again, once you step out, you will say that you left your pen on the train you needed for school. If you go back for it this time though, it will say that the pen is no longer here. You can keep searching, but you'll never find the pen. You have to leave. Go right, and this time the neon signs of the karaoke bar will light up. You will hear a woman crying inside, and a bunch of men will corner woman on the right side of the bar. You cannot interact with them, but if you go a little to the right, their faces will don bunny masks yet again. Well, if Fear and Hunger has taught me anything, that's not a good sign. Go back to them and they will talk amongst themselves. Did you hear her scream? She was so pathetic. These ones are all used up. I had a better time in the Gangnam area. Are you sure this place is soundproof? Even if it isn't, nobody cares in this neighborhood. The police are all paid off, so it's useless to report it. Are you worried the wife will know? Of course not. She probably knows already, that wench. Hey little girl, are you lost? Do you need something? You can calmly walk away or just say no. Either way, they'll laugh at you as you walk away. Go to the right, and once you go in the school and talk to the teacher again, you'll get an extended talk from yesterday. Ari, my little one, my favorite student, we have a little time alone. I want you to do something for me. You will then lock the door. Don't worry, it's only us here. Nobody will open in. You'll get into a good school, I'll make sure of it. Your parents want the best for you too. That's why they asked me to help you. Don't be afraid, it'll only hurt a little. You'll like it after. Come, little one. The screen will then go black. You will hear tearing of skin, and then you will see Ari with her eye covered by that flower. Presumably dead on the floor, or even worse. Credits. Okay, so the message of this game is pretty heavy-handed, but there is some really strange unanswered questions, like, what is the parasite flower? What's with the parents and the dad who has no lower half? Who are the shadows? What's with the bunny masks? Well, let's talk about all those things. Well, there's no de facto answer, but I will do my best to explore what I think each of these things means. And I want to hear what you guys think they mean in the comments. So let's get into those. The most obvious thing to start with is what happens in the story, chronologically. I think what happens is Ari Young, a Korean schoolgirl, is trapped in a cycle of sexual abuse, torture, and apathy by her teacher and parents. The day obviously repeats, over and over, showing how every day for Ari is another day of sexual abuse and pain and uncaringness of the world that is happening to her. She cannot tell anyone about it, or even if she does, it seems her mouth is stitched shut. Nothing will happen. Her teacher is obviously raping or grooming or abusing her. That much is obvious. Her parents do nothing about it. And in the last lines of the game, it's even implied that they set this whole thing up. Perhaps not the abuse, but they surely know about it and do nothing. The dad is literally rooted to the couch. He does nothing. He's complacent. Even when talked to, he is silent. The mother repeats the same dialogue every day. Go to school, Ari. It would make sense that Ari tries to tell her parents about this abuse, but either they don't believe her, or simply don't care. Maybe they believe that she is going to get into a good school because of this abuse, but obviously, who cares? She's getting sexually abused. She walks past the karaoke bar every day, perhaps signifying that people in this world unfortunately do this sort of thing. Ari isn't alone in this horrible tragedy. This is sadly very common. She wants to end her own life, even seeing visions of it on the train. But what does the flower mean? Well, I believe it is the metaphorical mark of the beast in this case. Those marked by the parasite flower are trapped in the cycle, as either the abuser, the abused, or the bystander. All are affected by the parasite flower. What about the shadows? I believe that they are to show the facelessness of the world when shown all of this right in their face. What do a lot of people do when shown horrors like this? Well, they assume someone will fix it. They will think to themselves, how horrible, but then do nothing. It's the bystander effect, in short. The shadows are all bystanders that know about all of this, but do nothing. Whether they think they're too preoccupied with themselves or just assume someone else will do something about it. What's with the bunny masks? Well, I believe it is a facade. The outward appearance of the bunny is innocent. It's a good thing. Bunnies are peaceful. They showed their face with this on it to abuse others. It could also be the fear and hunger thing where bunnies could technically be a sex symbol almost. The whole rabbits have a lot of sex sort of thing. But I believe it is the outward mask of innocence that people use to abuse others. But that's about it. That is Parasite Flower. A very sad and unnerving game. I apologize because this video is so short, but next week I cannot wait to share with you the next book I have in store. If you see something, say something. Do something. But thank you all for watching. I truly do love all of you, and all of you are heroes to me for making my dreams come true. I'll see you all in the next video.